Whenever your joy depends on life events, you'll never feel truly happy. The moment you land that job, you promise yourself you'll be happy. Getting rid of the weight will make you more satisfied. The perfect relationship will lead to fulfillment. What you fail to realize is that happiness isn't a destination. It's not something you achieve once you tick all the boxes. You'll always be chasing the next thing, never truly satisfied. Real, lasting happiness comes from within. It's about creating joy that isn't shaken by life's ups and downs. Find contentment in the present and appreciate what you have while still working towards your goals. True joy doesn't come from having everything. Here's a hard pill to swallow. When someone says you've hurt them, their pain isn't up for debate. Most of us like to think of ourselves as good people, as people who wouldn't intentionally hurt others. But intent doesn't always align with impact. As soon as someone claims we have hurt them, our first instinct is to defend ourselves, to explain, to justify. Pain, however, is subjective. What seems harmless to you might cut deep for someone else. True maturity, real emotional intelligence, lies in being able to set aside our ego and really listen. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. Consider it an opportunity for growth. Take a step back and learn to see things from a different perspective. This simple act of acknowledging someone else's pain, even when we didn't intend it, can be incredibly healing, both for them and for our relationships. Being honest about your mistakes doesn't make you a bad person. You become a more mature person as a result. Pause for a moment and let this sink in. Just existing is enough on some days. Have you ever woken up and felt the weight of the world on your shoulders, when even the simplest tasks seem monumental? We live in a world that glorifies hustle, that values productivity as a way to measure worth. But here's a radical thought. Sometimes, just being here is your greatest achievement. Your body is fighting battles you can't see. Your mind is processing complexities you can't fathom. Your heart is healing wounds that aren't visible. On those days when getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain, when showering is your biggest accomplishment, remember, you're doing okay. You're human, not a machine. You're allowed to have off days, to take breaks, to simply exist without justification. You're breathing. You're here. And sometimes that's more than enough. You're only as pretty as you treat others. In a world obsessed with filters and outward appearance, we've forgotten a fundamental truth. True beauty isn't skin deep. We spend hours in front of mirrors, critiquing every pore, every wrinkle. We chase after the latest beauty trends, hoping they'll make us feel worthy. But here's the thing. No amount of makeup can cover up a cruel heart. No designer outfit can disguise an ugly attitude. Beauty isn't just about turning heads. It's about touching hearts. It's in the way you make others feel seen, heard, and valued. It's in the kindness you show to the waitress having a rough day. It's in the patience you extend to a struggling colleague. It's in the love you pour into your relationships. This kind of beauty doesn't fade with age. It doesn't wash off at night. It grows stronger, more radiant with each act of compassion, each moment of empathy. So the next time you look in the mirror, don't just check your appearance. Check your attitude. The most attractive feature you can wear is kindness. You can't heal in the place you get hurt. One of the most difficult experiences in life is that unless you break the cycle, unless you remove yourself from a situation or environment where you have been hurt, you will most likely continue to be hurt. And turning the page is extremely difficult because it implies understanding and accepting that letting go of someone means that while they may have been a part of your history, they do not have to be a part of your destiny. Murakami once said, "Pain is unavoidable, but suffering is optional." And the longer you stay in a situation where you are the one getting hurt, the more difficult it is to heal, and the more you suffer. People don't change unless they want to. Your partner's annoying habits won't magically disappear because you nag. Your friend's self-destructive behavior won't stop just because you disapprove. Your parents' outdated views won't suddenly shift because you argue. As the saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can offer support, share wisdom, even set an example. But at the end of the day, change comes from within. It's frustrating to watch someone you deeply care about make the same mistakes over and over. But the energy you spend trying to change others is energy you're not investing in yourself. Your job isn't to fix people. The only person you can truly change is yourself. And sometimes, that's the change that inspires others the most. If overthinking is your default mode, it might be your brain's way of trying to control an environment that once felt uncontrollable. It's a survival mechanism, honed by years of living in an unpredictable environment. Your mind learned to anticipate every possible outcome as a way to protect you from harm. When chaos is the norm, the mind adapts. Our past experiences shape our present behaviors, often in ways we don't fully understand. Unless we recognize and address the root causes of our anxiety and overthinking, we'll likely continue to operate from a place of fear and hypervigilance. This hypervigilance once kept you safe. It helped you navigate treacherous waters, anticipate the next crisis. But now in calmer seas, that same life-saving skill might be anchoring you to old fears. Breaking free from this pattern isn't about simply thinking less. It's about retraining your brain to recognize safety, to understand that not every situation requires intense scrutiny. While our overthinking may have once protected us, it doesn't have to define our future interactions with the world. Here's a hard pill to swallow. When someone says you've hurt them, their pain isn't up for debate. Most of us like to think of ourselves as good people, as people who wouldn't intentionally hurt others. But intent doesn't always align with impact. As soon as someone claims we have hurt them, our first instinct is to defend ourselves, to explain, to justify. Pain, however, is subjective. What seems harmless to you might cut deep for someone else. True maturity, real emotional intelligence, lies in being able to set aside our ego and really listen. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. Consider it an opportunity for growth. Take a step back and learn to see things from a different perspective. This simple act of acknowledging someone else's pain, even when we didn't intend it, can be incredibly healing, both for them and for our relationships. Being honest about your mistakes doesn't make you a bad person. You become a more mature person as a result. The healthier you become, the pickier you are about who's in your life. As you grow and heal, you start to see things differently. You recognize patterns you didn't before. You start to notice who lifts you up and who drags you down, who celebrates your success and who seems threatened by it, who respects your boundaries and who ignores them. Although you might have fewer connections, they become much stronger, more authentic, more supportive. A small, mighty squad beats a crowded room of half-hearted acquaintances any day. The more you grow up, the more you realize that none of us are easy to be with. We all suffer from something. We're all carrying something. Anxiety, past traumas, insecurities, fears. The journey of becoming, it's messy. It's complicated. It's human. It's not about finding someone without baggage. That person doesn't exist. It's about finding someone who's willing to unpack alongside you. Real love, real friendship, real connection is not about being easy to be with. It's about choosing each other, flaws and all, every single day. It's about creating a safe space where both of you can be unapologetically human. We're all works in progress. We're all a little hard to be with sometimes, and that's okay. We are not unified by perfection. We are unified by our shared imperfections, our shared struggles, and our shared humanity. Understand that the cracks in our armor don't make us weak. They make us real, and real is where true connection begins.